How do you grow a small account? Today we're going to cover that. What's up, you guys? It's Keith from Stock Hours here. Today we're going to have another educational video. We're going to be going over how you can grow a small account as a beginner trader. So if this helps you guys out, make sure you drop a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll get right into it. So to start this, we're going to go over a few issues that I see a lot of small account traders and beginner traders having, just so we can get a basis of where we need to go from there. A lot of the times traders have issues with their sizing on a small account. They won't have enough money in their account to take a position, stop out, be able to re-enter that position. So what a lot of traders end up doing is just bag holding their positions and not following their stop losses. Obviously, this is a huge problem. That's something that we can't really be doing, especially with a small account. That's one problem, not knowing how to size. The second problem, occasionally, if your account is small enough, the options contracts will end up being so expensive that you might not even be able to afford the contracts. So you find yourself going further out of the money in order to trade these contracts. What a lot of beginner traders do, and I was in the same situation at one point, is you would go so far out of the money on the options contracts just because they're cheaper, just so you could buy more contracts. So say you're wanting to take a $500 position size, right? And you can buy one options contract that is roughly $500, maybe a little below. Or you can go super far out of the money and play these really cheap contracts that you can buy 5 or 10 of. And as a beginner with a small account, my thought process was always, oh, the more contracts I have, the more money I can make, without taking into account that these contracts don't move the same as the contracts that are closer to being in the money. So what would end up happening is I would go so far out of the money buying super cheap contracts so I could have 10, 15, 20 of them that the contracts really wouldn't move whenever the stock moved. They would move a little bit, but not as much as just that one singular contract would have done. So you want to make sure that you're not going too far out of the money with your contract choices. We always recommend anywhere between 2 to 5 strikes out of the money, depending on how the options are based. If they are contracts that have a strike price of every like $2.50, we usually only choose the $5 ones. So like if a stock is at $500, we could play the 500s, the 505s, or the 510s. Another problem that I see a lot of beginner traders with a small account make is they will throw their whole entire account into one position, which once again, you never want to do. If you only have a big enough account that you can only trade good priced options contracts on a Thursday and a Friday, then that's fine. Take the first 3 days, watch the markets, or just take those 3 days, paper trade, and then when you get to Thursday and Friday, you can actually trade with your real money. You never want to be in a position where you're throwing your entire account into one trade. So I guess this technically has something to do with sizing as well, but that's another big problem that I see people make. And once again, I'm using these examples from experience of at one point being a beginner trader with a small account and not really knowing what I'm doing, but still just trying. The amount of times that whenever I had a $1,000, $2,000 account, I would just throw $800 into a position because the contracts were more expensive back then. But the amount of times I would throw $800, $900 in a position when my account was only around $2,000, it just wasn't a smart idea. So make sure you stick away from that one. Now that we've got through these issues, we can get into how should you be growing your small account. So I'm going to list off and briefly summarize some certain things that you need to be paying attention to when you're trying to grow your small account. If we have other videos that dig deeper into any of these topics, I'll make sure to link those videos in the description. So, number 1, make sure you have your trading account set up as a cash account. This is going to help you get around the PDT rule. It won't let you trade infinitely from your account. You won't be able to make unlimited trades, but it will help you get around the PDT rule where you can only take 3 round-trip trades in a rolling 5-day period. Instead of using up day trades, it will just use up your buying power. Say you have a $1,000 account, you take a trade with a $500 position. Now you have $500 plus whatever you made or minus whatever you lost in unsettled cash, and you still have $500 left of settled cash. If you're trading options, you can take another trade with that other $500, for example, and now you will have zero settled cash to trade with, and you'll have whatever you made or lost in unsettled cash. If you're trading options, overnight your buying power will settle, and now you will have your full amount of settled cash that you can trade with the next day. So that's number one. Make sure you have a cash account. Number two, with a small account, you're going to want to have a broker that works well for you. So I have a video that I'm going to link in the description going over all of the best trading platforms and brokerages for you. These are all dependent, once again, on your level of trading, your account size, and your preference when it comes to the charts. But what I would personally recommend would be either Thinkorswim or E-Trade Pro for small account traders. The reasons for this is because the subscriptions for level 2 are a lot cheaper on these platforms. The commissions are a lot cheaper on these platforms, and there's also no running fees that you have to pay to keep the account open. For more advanced traders with a little bit more money to spend and a little bit more money that they're making, I would highly recommend Interactive Brokers. But like I said, Interactive Brokers is probably not the best choice for a trader with a very small account because these commissions are a lot higher, subscriptions are a lot higher, and you have to have a minimum amount in the account to keep it going. Next, we want to get into how are we going to size with this small account. So I actually just did a video going all through the sizing, and this is going to help out a ton with small accounts. It's how I personally grew my small account, and as long as you plug in the numbers and stick to your rules, you will be able to too. So to summarize that, my sizing rule is called the 3-strike sizing rule, and I think that is perfect for small accounts that are scalping options. Like I said, go ahead and go watch that video to cover all of those sizing questions that you might have. If you have any other questions about your sizing or anything, feel free to DM me. So you want to make sure that you have the proper sizing and stop losses for your account size and your style of trading. So like I said, go watch that video and it should help out a ton with your sizing. Next, this is not a technical trading thing, but this is just in general. You have to be extremely disciplined, especially with a small account. You need to find ways to create discipline throughout your trading and your life so you can stick to your rules, stick to your stop losses, stick to your targets, and execute these trades properly. So you are going to need to have a bunch of discipline. It's going to take a little bit to build that up, and it is definitely tough for small account traders, but it is 100% doable. And then obviously you're going to want to have a solid trading plan. Figure out what style of trading you're going to do, and then create your plans based on that. So for me, I personally scalp breakouts using options contracts on large cap stocks. That is the style of trading that I do. Occasionally, there is some day trades in there as well, but the majority of the time, it's just scalping these very quick moves on breakouts on large cap stocks. In order to form a plan for that, you're going to need to learn how to chart. You're going to need to learn how to create a plan, and you're going to need to have some sort of back testing to make sure that your plan will actually work out for you. Once again, if you want to follow this style of trading, that is awesome. And I would highly recommend signing up for the free day in stock hours. If you're a complete beginner, you can listen to us live trade. You can attend the free lesson. So that is going to be the next topic. If you're not sure what style of trading you want to do yet, make sure you go check out the video on our channel that covers all of the different styles of trading so you can figure out what works best for you. The next tip for growing a small account is don't shoot too high in your expectations. A lot of things that I have learned from trying to grow a small account myself, your expectation going into trading is that you're going to be making a ton of money in no time. which is just not the case. That's not how trading works. You have to have the knowledge behind it. You have to have the practice behind it. And you have to have all of your mental resilience behind it for it to work out for you as well. Don't expect to be making a ton of money when you're first starting out. With that, you're not going to want to aim too high on your targets on your trades. Make sure that when you get a good trade, you're taking profits, and make sure you're not risking too much for what you can. These small profits add up over time. You're just going to want to be looking for the base hits. The home runs come occasionally. Like today, for example, we just had a 100% trade. But that's not going to happen every single day. Every single day, we're going to be looking for the good 5 to 10% base hits. Those 5 to 10% base hits are going to add up a ton over the course of a week, a month, a year. So don't focus on the short term, especially when it comes to growing a small account. If you're focusing too much on the short term, you're going to lose motivation to do it, and you're going to lose sight of what the end goal is. You want to be focused more on the long term than on the short term. I know that's a little bit difficult when the trading we're doing is all short term trading, but you have to look at the bigger picture. The last thing that I'm going to say for this video is if you're starting out with a small account, stick with that small account. If you can't grow a small account, you're not going to be able to grow a large account. So what I'm saying by this is if you have this much money, right, and you put this much money into your trading account, do not be ready to add this much money right away. By the time that you end up getting to the point where you should be even adding money to your account, you should already be growing your account enough that you won't need to add any money to it. This is a big realization that hit me as well whenever I added money to my account. I had a certain amount in my account. I added money to it. Within the next week or so, I took myself right back down to that starting point and had to build back up. So I would have been better off just doing what I was doing and keep on learning and keep getting better and keep growing until the point where I got there in the first place. Because at the end of the day, you're going to set yourself back there anyways if you still don't know what to do when you're trading and you still don't have a solid plan and solid rule book. Don't add money to your account if you are growing it, because once again, that's just going to make you focus on the wrong things. You're going to be focusing all on your P&L, not on the trades. And the only reason for adding more money to your account is really just out of greed so you can make more money. So like I said, you'd be better off keeping your small account, growing it from there. And then once it gets to a large account, you're going to know how to handle your trades. You're going to know how to handle money. You're going to slowly get yourself up to that point. So when you have a large account, you can keep excelling from there. If you are trading with a small account and you aren't seeing results, I promise you adding more money to your account is not going to change that at all. All it's going to do is just set you in a position to where you have more to lose until you get back to your original point and then have to grow from there anyways. So that is all for today's video. I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, then make sure to drop a comment, DM me, and I will be more than happy to answer those. So I hope you guys like this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.